What's going on, everybody? My name is Brent Simmons and I'm the owner of Restoration Roofing right here in Memphis, Tennessee, and I'm also the go-to Atlas guy. In this video, I want to talk about something that is an issue with roofs all over the world, but especially a big issue here in the Memphis, Tennessee area. And that issue is algae growth. When you drive around and you look at roofs, I want you to look up. Those black streaks that you see coming down those shingled roofs, that's actually caused by algae, which is a living organism. And traditionally, what people have done is they've hired people to go up on their roofs and clean it. They'll spend hundreds, if not thousands of dollars every couple of years to go restore the original look of their home. But when you do that, there's a big risk that you run. Depending on who you hire, they might use a soft wash, a nice chemical that could be safe, but then you risk killing all your plants. Or you hire someone that has no idea what they're doing and they take a power washer to your roof, and what that's going to do is essentially destroy the shingles. So Atlas and 3M have partnered together to basically end this problem once and for all. So what I want to do, let's get in my truck. I want to take you to a neighborhood and show you firsthand what this algae growth looks like, and then I want to talk about and show you what 3M and Atlas have done to fix this issue. Let's go. All right, so here we are. This is a great example of a beautiful home. I mean, this is probably, I'd say, a $700,000 plus home. But look at the front of this. You see how it's all dark and there's those streaks, they're very uneven? This is algae growth. And there's not even a lot of trees around this. So it just goes to show you, without the proper shingles, your house will eventually start looking like that. And when I look at that roof, I do see that it is an architectural roof, a 30 or 50-year architectural roof. It's got some age on it, but either way, that is very unsightly. And the only way right now they could actually fix that without replacing the roof is having somebody go up there and clean that roof. And again, we get back into the issue of, do those people even know what they're doing? So let's keep on going. Let's look at some more. Even right here, I literally moved like 10 yards and you can see the back of this house. Again, all these nasty streaks, a lot of them are emanating down there from the ridge cap and the hips. So it just looks like black streaks coming down an otherwise very large, very expensive, and very beautiful home. Oh, look at this one. All right, so I'm not sure how much of this you guys can see on the camera here, but right here, this slope, all the slopes to the left over the garage and over that main gable there are just completely almost a different color. You know, it looks like someone just went and put black paint or something all over that roof. And it's ugly to look at. And these homes, really any home, any person that's going to spend money on an investment like a new roof deserves better than that. But when we look across the street, we see an Atlas roof. That is a Pinnacle pristine weathered shadow shingle, and that roof will never get those ugly black streaks. So as you can see, there's algae on a ton of roofs in the Mid-South area. And I guarantee you, if you're all the way up in Canada, you probably have the same issue. So we decided to go ahead and just stop in the middle of this neighborhood. And all around me, I see, like, I'm standing on a really nice golf course, pristine golf course. All the landscaping of all these homes is top notch. I mean, you can really tell that these people care about their property and they care about how it looks. So let's talk about algae and what it does to the appearance of a property for a second. This house right behind me, you can see it has a lot of algae growing on that back slope. And this can actually cause a perception. If this man or woman wanted to sell their house, there's a really real risk that the potential buyer could see that and almost in their mind mentally think that there's more problems than there really are with the house, because that upon first glance just kind of looks ugly. It looks like part of the house is older than the rest of it. It's not a good look. So a lot of the times you have these people, and I deal with this a lot in my business, where they just see a roof that's covered in algae and they assume that there's problems with the roof. And there's a lot of times we go up and we look at it and there's no leaks. Again, it's just ugly, because algae doesn't really affect the performance of the roof, but it does devalue. It takes away from the curb appeal of a home. So you're probably wondering how algae even starts growing. Algae in and of itself is a living organism. So it needs certain conditions to be able to start growing and to spread on a roof. So when you have a climate that is humid and hot and you get a lot of moisture, a lot of rain, especially like we get here in the Mid-South, it's an ideal place for algae to start growing. Atlas even has a little map that we're going to put up right here that shows you the hot spots of algae. And you can see right there in Memphis, Tennessee, we're right in the middle of it. And depending on where you live, algae can start growing very quickly if you have a shingle that doesn't have the proper treatment or resistance against algae. I've seen roofs that are literally 1 to 2 years old and they have complete northern side slopes that are just completely covered in algae. I'm gonna ask you a question, and I already know the answer, but if you were to buy a car, a brand new car, would you expect the paint to start fading within 5 years? The answer is no. So why would you spend the same amount of money on a roof just to have it start changing colors on you? Well, let's talk about what Atlas has done. Again, we've talked about Scotchgard multiple times. And when I say Scotchgard to just about anybody, this is what they assume that I'm talking about. This is a product made by 3M and it does have the same exact Scotchgard logo, but this is a spray that goes on top of fabrics and shoes and stuff like that to make them waterproof. In fact, my boots right now have been sprayed with Scotchgard. But the Scotchgard that is inside of the shingles is completely different. Let me show you how Atlas has achieved this. They actually use Scotchgard coated granules or copper coated granules. So they're using copper, which naturally kills little microorganisms like algae. And this is just a comparison. So these are the copper coated granules here. And you've got a mineral inside, then you've got copper, and then you've got a coating on the outside of it. And this is a comparison to show you what Atlas puts on their shingles compared to what other manufacturers do. There's a huge difference. The ratio's way off. So this right here represents the number of copper coated granules in an Atlas shingle. This right here is all the other big companies that make shingles. Atlas uses, just from this illustration, more than double the amount of the copper coated Scotchgard granules. So that's just the concentration of these copper coated granules that Atlas uses. But how do these even work? Because I mean, these just look like normal shingle granules, and they're actually not. So the way these work, according to 3M, is that as water and really like morning dew passes through these, that copper slowly starts coming out. It basically goes down the roof. You will never see it. It's on such a microscopic level that you'll never see like literally copper coming down your roof. But basically that water gets charged with the copper, and as it flows down your roof in the mornings and even during light rains, it will naturally kill any algae that's started to take root and started to grow on the roof. So Scotchgard is one of the main reasons why I sell the Atlas shingle. Sure, there's a ton of other features, but at the end of the day, from my point of view as a roofing contractor, I want to be able to go back and pass by a roof I did 10 years ago and it still look good. I live around this area, not in this specific neighborhood yet, maybe one day, but I live around this area. I see roofs that I've built every single day. I don't want to drive by and look at a roof that I did a couple years ago and it's already starting to look ugly. And quite frankly, I think that my customers deserve more. So if you want any more information about Atlas shingles, or if you want to find an Atlas roofing contractor near you, check out www.atlasroofing.com and select Find a Contractor or Find a Pro. Anyways, that's it for me, Brent Simmons, Restoration Roofing. Please be sure to like and subscribe to the channel. It helps out tremendously. Thank you.